club as a whole offered him a sense of peace that was absent from his personal life, thanks to his own demons that managed to haunt him day and night like a bad case of the flu. Rational decisions weren't generally on Luke's short list of things to do, so purchasing the club ranked right up there with one of the best he could come up with in quite some time. Though he often wondered if the club actually intensified those demons. Remembering that he still held the phone to his ear, and his brother wasn't going to wait patiently for long, Luke answered, "Just trying to get some shit done around here, and not succeeding worth a damn." Luke almost felt guilty for directing his annoyance at his brother, knowing the other man had spent the last 2 months trying to juggle his own responsibilities, including a full-time job and apparently a new wife, along with covering for Luke's absence at the club. Yes, the wife part had been a surprise, because when Luke had left town, Logan and Samantha were only dating. When he came back, bam, new sister-in-law. For some unexplained reason, just the thought of Samantha had Luke's body going instantly hard. Most likely that was due to the fact that he'd known Sam intimately on more than one occasion, thanks to the few times Logan had invited him to be the third. The remembered feel of Sam against him, or her hot, sweet mouth on him, had Luke almost longing for another encounter with her. Almost being the key word. Since his personal demons had begun making a daily visit, Luke had sworn off those little sexcapades. Granted, Luke liked Sam, and as far as Logan went, she was a perfect match for him. The fact that they had gotten married shouldn't surprise him as much as it did. Or perhaps the fact that his identical twin brother hadn't bothered to mention that little tidbit of information prior to Luke taking some time off was what kept throwing him off. Either way, he tried not to think about it too much, especially knowing that what they had shared before could never be again, especially after that last night. Luke brushed off the thought. He didn't have time to dwell on what couldn't be. "I'm glad you're back, Luke, but we need to talk." Though Logan's tone was slightly less frustrated than before, Luke easily picked up on the insistence his twin had thrown in for good measure. Luke hated when his brother did that shit. He'd much rather face the anger than to have to face the fact that he had let his brother down. "Then talk," Luke stated, leaning back in his chair, thinking twice about propping his size 15 boots up on the polished wood top. He could almost predict what Logan wanted to talk about. After all, their twin bond was strong, and for most of their lives, they could finish each other's sentences, sometimes even knew what the other was going to say before they said anything at all. And now wasn't much different. "I'll drop by around lunchtime. Don't disappear on me," Logan stated flatly before the line disconnected. "Son of a bitch," Luke mumbled to no one in particular. He might deserve to have Logan show up on his doorstep and read him the riot act, but it didn't mean he was going to be happy about it. Luke hit the switch to turn on his computer screen so he could scan through his recent emails. While he had been away, he managed to stay on top of things as best he could. He couldn't abandon his responsibilities altogether, though he'd been so fucked up in the head that he had wanted to. Even now he had a hard time keeping his focus. So many things had happened in the last couple of months, Luke wasn't sure he knew which way was up anymore. As much as he wanted to blame everything on what had happened that last night with Logan and Samantha, Luke knew he couldn't do that. Sam might have come into Logan's life, and in turn Luke's, but the woman hadn't done anything specific that would have thrown Luke's life off course the way it had been. No, he only had himself to blame for that, but his own denial wouldn't allow him to admit that either. "Fuck," Luke ground out as he pushed out of his chair, nearly sending the damn thing over backward. He had too much shit to do to sit around pondering the reasons why he felt so off-kilter lately. He should just leave again, take another extended vacation, and get away by himself. Not that it would do him any good. After all, he'd spent the better part of 2 months doing exactly that, and look where it had gotten him. Not a damn place. Resigning himself to staying at the club and attempting to take care of business, Luke grabbed an invoice off of his desk and headed back downstairs to talk to Kane Steele, his bar manager. According to their earlier conversation, it appeared that there were